Okay, so yesterday we learned about classes and objects, right? So we will, today we'll cover something about what we learned. A class is a pro forma or form, right? See it as a reservation form. So we have to create the fields over there. Okay, suppose this is a class. So what is the structure of the class? Public class, class name. Okay, whatever class name you are providing, class name, right? This is the class name. Now what all fields can be in the class body? So one thing is constructor. First thing, it's constructor. What is constructor? We'll discuss constructor. Okay. Methods, we'll discuss methods. Okay, we'll discuss variables. We'll discuss constants, right? So these are called, on a combination, these are called fields. Okay, fields or class fields. So what are the class fields? Constructor, methods, variable and constants. These are the class fields. Okay, now see, what is constructor? Let me create another class here. So what is the way? We have to click on this, create new file. The class name is maybe class fields tut.java. Okay, so this is a public class. So first thing is constructor. What is constructor? So constructor is kind of what do you say? Constructor should be the same name as your class name is. Okay, so first thing, class field tut, this is my constructor. Okay, this is my constructor. Now constructor has a constructor body. See, I am putting here opening curly braces and closing curly braces. That means constructor has a constructor body. Now what is the use of constructor? Constructor is used to initialize something at the object level. Constructor is used to initialize something at the object level. How? See, suppose inside constructor, let me put one sysout statement. Okay, sysout statement, and in the inside sysout statement we are providing I am in constructor. Now how to call this constructor things, or whatever we are printing now, how to call this thing? So our program will run from where? It's main method, right? We discussed yesterday, it's always main method. So main method. Now what we have to do? We have to create an object of this class field tut. Class field tut, suppose obj equal to new class field tut. Now I am doing nothing. Okay, I am doing nothing. Directly I am running this program. See, I have not entered, I have not created any sysout statement here. But this message, what I am printing in the constructor, is getting printed here. How? Because this constructor is called when the object is created. Okay, when the object is created, this constructor is getting called. So that is why we can create, suppose we can create some some variables here, int a equal to 10. So initialization, suppose here let me do like this. In class level I am creating one variable and I am not initializing, and here in the constructor level I am putting a equal to 10 or initializing this particular variable. Okay, initializing this particular variable. Now what we have to do to access this a, we have to access this variable through the object, right? So sysout okay boj dot a. So what is the value of a, right? Now if I run it, see the 10 is getting printed, but we have not initialized this 10 in the class level. We have initialized a value in the inside the constructor. This kind of initialization we can do. This is a very easy example. We can have many complex thing which is initialized inside our constructor. So why we need constructor? To initialize some value when you create some object. So where you are creating some the object here, right? Line number 12. You are creating the object that time. See, this is the same syntax you are calling here, right? So new class field student. Okay. The same thing you are calling here. So in this line actually you are initializing this constructor, you are calling this constructor. Okay, now the constructor could be a default constructor. Suppose you are not writing anything, okay, you are not writing anything here, okay, then also Java will always create in the backend, you are not seeing it, but in the backend it will create a default constructor. Okay, a default constructor. Default constructor means that constructor is not created by the user. Default constructor is a blank constructor. Okay, the same thing, only the constructor body will contain nothing. Okay, constructor body will contain nothing. And here suppose we are the same, if you see that constructors are same, okay, we have to put an argument. So why we need some this argument, we'll cover it in when we'll cover that oops concepts. Okay, so you have to put some argument. Suppose string name. Okay, this is a default constructor, this is user defined constructor. Okay, this is a default constructor, this is user defined constructor. Now in default constructor there won't be anything in the argument, but in the user defined constructor, if you want, you can put some argument here. Okay, and if you want to call some sysout, okay, here will be created, right, will be created. Now it is not visible, but if you want to print something, if you want to do something with this constructor, you can write like this and do something inside inside that body, like I am doing. I am printing some message that I am inside default constructor. Okay, I am inside default constructor. Now so whenever we'll call it, like class field stud boj new class field stud. Okay, now what it will be printing, it will be printing in I am inside default constructor, because we are calling the default constructor from here. But suppose I am putting here some name. Okay, we are putting here some name or any suppose anything swarm, right? Then which constructor will be called? This I am in constructor means where we have kept that argument. Okay, so constructor is this. Okay, it's a kind of structure where you can initialize some variables, some of the data, not only variables. So you can use to initialize some uh, other objects also. Okay, it depends, I mean, depends on your requirement, but constructor excuse me, constructors are used to initialize some fields when you are creating the object of the class. Okay, understood, right? Any question? Okay, fine. Just look at the program and just see if you have anything. Take your time. A number of constructors. Uh, yes. Why not? N number of constructors you can create. Same class. Hmm. See, suppose here you want to pass another variable, okay, int num. So when you are in the when you are creating object, so you are creating class field student, so on. Okay, now if you are putting comma here and putting some number, okay, then this constructor will be called. I am in second constructor. Okay, like that when we want some other, I mean, the constructor should contain different things. Okay, now based on your requirement, suppose you want set of variables to be initialized at some level, you want another set of variables in some other level. Okay, so that's why they can you can provide constructors with different arguments. Now when I am putting this string name and int num, it will be actually used, right? I am not using it, but it will be actually used, correct? So how we can use it? We can simply print from here. So it is name plus, and here it is num, right? So what will be printed here? It will print I am in second constructor sum and 10. See, so this is where, I mean, this is where you can put n number of arguments, not n number of arguments, basically arguments, you have a limit. Okay, as per the coding standard, you have the limit to declare arguments of 5. Okay, but you can, it's not like that Java will stop you, but it's not standard. So that is why you can use you can use combinations. Suppose this is the first argument is string, second argument is int, you can have another constructor with first argument is integer, and second argument is string. Okay, Initializing. No code, we do not write any code there, but we initialize something. Okay. And constructor doesn't return anything. Constructor, we do not return anything from constructor. It's a kind of a chamber where we are initializing all these things. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay, so constructor is done. Now second thing is what we discussed is method, right? Methods. So what are the methods? See, like we have this public static void main, we are using this public static void main to execute our program, or our program will start execution from public static void main, right? That we know. But suppose I have thousand lines of code, thousands lines of code, and thousands line I am writing inside this main method. Would it be readable inside a single method if I am writing all thousands or 10,000 lines of codes, or the whole application even? It won't work, right? So that is why we will create some methods. What are the methods? The methods are the piece of codes or the group of code, lines of codes, okay, group of lines of codes, which will do a same kind of work, okay, which will do same kind of work. Suppose I want to add two numbers, okay, I want to add two numbers. So what we'll do here, we'll create two variables inside main method. Int a equal to 10, okay, and int b equal to 20, okay, int a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now I have to add two numbers. So what we'll do, this out, what we'll do, we'll just a plus b, correct, we'll get it. Now what about I don't want to this 10 and 20. I want to create int, I want to add two numbers, which is 30 and 40. C equal to 30, int d equal to 40, correct. Now again I have to make the same lines of code, like sys out c plus d. Now we are not writing any common steps, right? Same thing we are declaring, same thing here also we have declared a, b, same thing we have declared c, d here, and we have declared sys out statement a plus b. For c plus d we have another line of code, right? So what about I want to add to any combinations of numbers. So how can you write all the combinations you will add, or all the combinations you will declare as variable and write in the program? No, right? That is a very very bad thing. So what we'll do instead, we will write a common code. Common code means we'll write a method public void. This is the method structure, okay, void. I'll discuss this, what is void, what is public, but for now public is a access modifier, okay, void is a return type, okay, void return type means we are returning nothing, void means nothing, okay, and add two numbers. This is my method name, add two numbers, and what we'll do, will pass as argument two integers, int num1 and int num2. 2. Okay, and we will create method body with sysout. Okay, we'll print the addition of two numbers, so num1 plus num2, right? We are creating the same thing where what we have created, but in the common way. Public void add two numbers. We have written this num1 into num2, and sysout statement num1 plus num2. Okay, now if I want, I am commenting these lines of code. Now simply what we have to do, add two numbers. Now I want to add 10 and 20. If I want to add 30 and 40, if I want to add 60 and 240, okay, 240. So everything can be done just changing the arguments, okay, by calling this particular method and changing the arguments. That's it. And if you run it, you will get 30, 70 and 300, the our whatever our result is. So this is where we want methods. See if you have understood. Any question? Nirmal has joined, right? I saw Nirmal joined. Yeah, okay. Got it, right? What is methods? So this is a method. This is a common code, okay, common reusable code we have written to reduce the lines of codes inside main method. To reduce the lines of codes inside main method. Okay, and what is the benefit of writing methods or modularity? We are actually creating the modularity structure, module base, right? So what is the benefit of this modularity structure? It will increase the readability of the code. See I have created the name of the method, add two numbers. So anyone who knows English can understand this method will add two numbers and print it, right? Now inside method body, or not the method body, the structure, okay? So this is one structure of method, okay, public void this, okay. Now public, instead of public we can have private. Private means the access of that particular method would be inside this class only. I'll discuss this private and public, everything, okay. Now another way is public int. Public int add three numbers, okay, add three numbers. We want to add three numbers, okay, and here we have to return what? Three numbers addition, I mean addition of three numbers, sum of three numbers. So first we have to take the numbers in argument. So int num1, int num2, int num3, okay, and return what? Num1 plus num2 plus num3, okay. So what we are doing here, we are returning something, okay, by I mean this is the return type I said, right? If it is void, we will return nothing. If it is void, the method will return nothing. Return means it has an output, Okay, in this case, this particular method doesn't have any output. It is just printing two numbers or printing the addition sum of two numbers. But if I want some output of the method, okay, some output of the method, that is what int, I mean, that is where this return type comes. Void means returning nothing or any other data type. If you are putting here, this return statement is mandatory. Apart from void, if you are putting any other data type here as a return type, the return statement is mandatory. Okay, return statement is mandatory, otherwise you will get compilation error. It is simple, right? If you are returning something, if you have some return type, you should have, I mean, you should be returning something. So that is why, what is the data type of sum of three integers? It should be integer. That is why I have kept the return type as integer and returning the integer sum of three numbers, like that. Object we have created already. Huh? Add three numbers. Not three values. It is returning the sum of the three sums. Whatever you want, three numbers, it will add. Okay, now right, main method. Yes. Correct. Yes. uh, hmm. We are not printing. I was about to cover it. We are not printing. Suppose it is adding. Now if I am running it, it will add, but you are not getting any result, as we do not have any print statement here. We do not need any print statement here, because we can also print this. Simply you just print it. Okay, simply you just print it, or any other, in other way, take the result in a int, because its return type is integer. So take a result in int result. Okay, now equal to what is that, boj dot add three numbers, and some other numbers, which is 50. Let's say this is 60, and this is, let's say, 430, 429. Okay, and you print this result. This out result. Okay, now if you run it, you will get the output. See, you got this output, 539, whatever, 70s. See, if you have any doubt here, method structure is very important. See, who is that? I mean, Nirmal or Rupali? Nirmal. Okay. See, constructor is used to initialize some variables. You will be using a number of variables, right, in the code. Now, some of the variables you want to initialize somehow whenever you create the object of the class. You understand, right? What is initialization? Suppose int a I have declared, I have not initialized, but I am initializing this a value of a here. See, I have initialized the value of a here. This is called initialization, and this could be anything. Okay, whether it is a variable or any object variable, it could be anything. So I want my variables to be initialized. Yes. Right. See, normal convention is you declare the variables in the class level, okay, or global level. This is called global variables, okay, and initialize somewhere whenever it is needed, okay, whenever it is needed. This is called lazy initialization. This is a very important concept of solid principle of Java. Okay, this is a convention I am talking about. Okay, but you can also put here int and do like this. It is not needed, right? Right, globally. Why? Because you are initializing it in the class level, I mean object level. Object level you are initializing it. Okay, so whenever you are creating object of these using this constructor, the value of a will be 10. Okay, suppose this is your object is now this constructor, right? This wherever it's not same constructor, it's string name and int num. Okay, so suppose you want a value to be 10 there. Okay, so this is the constructor because the argument is only string where this a value is initialized. So you have to call this constructor here. Okay, new class field stud. The class field studs, what we are calling is actually we are calling constructor. Just like we have called the methods, right? The same way constructor, the method to call constructor or way to call constructor is new this constructor name. And this is actually, what is this? New keyword. New keyword actually create your object, right? So in object level, if you want to initialize something, you have to put it inside constructor. Got it? Okay. Any other confusion? Right. Absolutely correct. And class is a prototype or pro forma, or where we are writing all the rules, set of rules or fields, constructors, methods, like that. So mandatorily, if you want to write some Java code, you have to first create a class, and then you can write anything, and main method. Okay, so these are all. We have created constructors, default constructor or user defined constructor, anything. So see, first and foremost thing, or which is the bare minimum thing, is you have to create this class body and what? Public static void main, because your execution starts from here. Right now, to increase the readability, you want some method, you have to write some methods, right? And if you want to initialize some variables, okay, some variables in the object level. That means whenever you will create the object, some variable should be initialized, then only you go for constructor. It's not mandatory that you have to go for constructor. Okay, see if you understood. No, clear it. I mean, if you have 1% doubt, then also ask me. Okay, there is nothing shameful asking the question. Hmm. Outside a class is outside. There is nothing would be there in outside the class. Everything, every field should be inside the class. Constructor is a class property. Constructor is a class property. Methods are class properties. Okay, inside class you have to create the fields. Hmm. 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 Correct. Correct. See, I have created everything inside class, right? This class field state, okay, and this the closing bracket of these is here, yellow color. Hmm? So all this main method, other methods, other constructors, variable, everything outside class there will be nothing. Only some import statements would be there, but outside class there would be nothing. Okay. Same field, sorry, same file or what? Hmm. No, we do not need, right? Whenever we will create class, we will create new file. That's the convention. Okay, we can create multiple classes inside a file, but that is not recommended. And yes, there is a concept of subclass. We'll discuss that later. There is an advanced Java portion. Only one class. I mean, one file means one class. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now, can I give you one task, programming task? So, create this class field tut, okay, class, and like I have created this add two numbers, huh? So you have to create method. You have to create method to subtract two numbers, subtract two number, and call from main method. Got it? You have to subtract two numbers and call yeah, just go ahead. Huh? Yesterday you opened the folder, right? You have created one folder. That folder you use. Okay, just right click and open quote, open with quote. Hmm. And create one class like this, class field tut.java from here, and create that method, public static void main, and the required method to subtract two numbers. Did you write public static void main? Just write main and uh, import it from boilerplate only. Don't write. Hmm. No, did you create any constructor? Then not needed, right? Not needed. I have. Hmm. Okay. Can you share your screen? Yes. Hmm. Okay. Open your VS Code. Hmm. So what you did is public void subtract two numbers, num1, num2, system.out.println num1 minus num2. That is fine. Public static void meant you should not write like that. Okay, delete this public static void meant whole body. Uh, the whole body, I mean, including that public static void meant statement. Correct. Hmm. Delete it. Only type there main. Acha, okay, system s should be capital. S should be capital. You should not write that blindly. Okay, it if you start typing sys, right? Hmm. Correct. That is fine. See, there is no red mark right now. That means there is no compilation error. Okay, now only type main, main, main. Okay, the click on that first option from the yes. Now here this is public static void main. Now here you have to create object, right? Object of the class. Delete that also. Yeah. Now see line number 10 is having this class field tut. There should be, you are calling what? You are calling constructor. So constructor should have opening and closing braces. Yes. Right. Now run. Yes, run. Result is 10. Correct. So now see one thing, your program is not well formatted. Okay. Just like I am using, I mean, what I am writing is well formatted, but your program is not well formatted. So what to do? Click, right click on it, right click on file, just right click. Here only right click. No need to do this manually. No need. Just right click anywhere in the file. Yeah. Format document. Yes. Okay, done. So, aligned. Opening and closing braces are aligned. Hmm. Understood, right? How to write methods. are you saying, are you talking about return statement? There is nothing. I mean, yes, you can. You just try, uh, you just try, you just try to create a method with return statement. Instead of void, there should be int, because. Acha, okay, 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 fine, yeah. Hmm. 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 Everything is correct. Only apart from this num1 equal to 10, num2 equal to 5. Not needed. Only mention 10 and 5. Directly pass the value. 10 comma 5. Only 10 comma 5. That's it. Run it now. Now write a method with return statement. Okay. Where you will directly return the subtracted value. Yeah, sure. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Correct. Correct. The only thing, don't put that bracket, okay, num1 minus num2, don't put that bracket. Just space will suffice. Just one space will suffice. Uh, Run it now again. See? Main. Only main, and that import the first option or second option, whatever. That is why we are using this kind of ID, right? This is a benefit of using ID, that we do not have to write all the codes manually. No, it's yeah, unnecessary imports. Just delete it, because the result you are declaring as a variable, okay, and whenever you declare variable na, you always declare with small letter, okay. We'll discuss the variable now. Always declare the small level. R should be small. Right, and here also should be. This is the convention of declaring variables. It should follow the camel casing. We'll discuss what is camel casing now. Okay. Rupali, is it done for you? Yes. Please share. Hmm? Yes. So return statement, inside return statement there should not be any system.out.println. Yes. And delete the bracket also. We do not need the brackets. Num1 minus num2. Okay. Now, what is this public static void main? Where did you write? Mm, what is that? No, see line number 6, line number 7. You have entered one extra bracket. Line number 7. Can you delete that line number 7? And you are writing everything outside classes. Did you see? You are writing everything outside classes. So copy line numbers from you just put it here, right? Now it is fine. It will not print anything, right? Why? Because you have not entered any sysout statement. Sysout. You have to put a sysout statement in the next line and print the result. Result. And what I said, result should be variable should be starting with small letter. Line number 14, it should be small letter also. Correct. Again, if this result is somehow corrupted. Line number 14. Okay. And best practice is, after writing the code, right click and format document. Okay. Okay, fine. So two fields we have learned, that is constructor and methods. Now it is clear that what is constructor and what is method, how it is written, you are all clear, right? Okay, and you understood what is the purpose of practicing code, correct? Though you are understanding the codes when I am writing the code, but it's little difficult when you are writing the code physically. But you have to write the code physically on your own, right? So that is why always practice, everyday practice. Okay, not much, only half an hour to 1 hour, that's it. That would be enough. Okay, let me share my screen and move to next topic. Okay, the next field is variable. So what is variable? Question is, what is variable, right? What is variable in Java? So in Java, a variable is a named storage location. So I discussed yesterday, right? So this is the memory, okay? This is the memory. Let me draw it here. Suppose this is my computer memory, and which will be used during execution, correct? And these are the smallest possible cubes or units. Okay, now you have to store the value, some value. Suppose 10 you have to store. Now what will be the identifier of this particular address? Because I know that Java doesn't support call by address. Java supports call by value, right? Java supports call by value only, we discussed. So what will be the identifier of this particular data? So that identifier will be a equal to 10. Now what is the type of 10? It is int, correct? Integer. So what is a? A variable is a named storage location. A is actually the storage location where this value is stored. This value is stored, and which can be changed in the runtime. Suppose in runtime I want to assign the value a with 11. That can be possible. Okay, with a variable that can be possible. Okay, and I'm getting some disturbance. Maybe. Okay, fine. So what is the how we have declared some variables, right? That is called declaration of variables. So you understood, right? What is a variable? Okay, fine. So see, in the class level, I declared one variable int a. The same way I can put float, right? Float b. I can declare some variable, let's say double c. Okay, these are called declaration of variable. First thing is declaration of variable. Next thing is initialization of variable. Now where will initialize it? We'll initialize it wherever it is required. Okay, so suppose here the class field state constructor, we have initialized the value a. Suppose here only we'll initialize b value. It is a float. Float means 12.3, only one decimal point with f suffix. Okay, so we have now initialized the value b. We have declared the variable b. We have initialized the variable b. Okay, now double, sorry, not double, it's C. Okay, double value, C equal to, let's say, 12.345, double value. Correct, more than one decimal point will be taken as double value. So we are declaring the value, or we are declaring the variable here in the line number 5, the class level, but we are initializing the variable here in the constructor. Okay, so we will initialize, we can declare in number of variables, okay, but we will initialize whenever those variable is needed. It's not class level. Okay, class level variable initialization is not recommended. It is called lazy initialization. Always remember this, lazy initialization. Lazy initialization is required. Lazy initialization means you initialize any variable whenever it needs. Okay, whenever it needs, right? So here I suppose I need those variables in this particular constructor. That is why I have initialized here. Suppose I can initialize the things inside this particular method also, add two numbers. Suppose I have initialized here. That is also possible. In some method I am initializing it. I have declared in class level, but I am initializing in method level. That is also possible. Okay, so these variables are called global variables. Global variables means global variables are declared in global level or class level. See, ABC declared in global level. So ABC will be accessible throughout all the methods. Now suppose in some method I am creating a local variable. Local variable means suppose int d equal to 50. See, I have declared this particular variable inside this particular method, add 3 numbers. Now d won't be available in other methods. See, d is giving you a problem. Okay, so the local variables are only accessible inside the method, declaring method. Okay, global variables are declared at the class level and can be accessed throughout the class. Any confusion? See if you understood. Okay, fine. Now, based on the types of data that a variable can hold, we have some data types in Java. So what are those things? Suppose I have written here int, float, double, right? So those are the data types. So what are the data types basically? See, to distinguish, sorry, might say it. Okay, see. Java architecture, it's internal, Java's internal thing. Okay, so there is a process of using or utilizing the memory. Okay, what are those memory? See, there are some portion in the memory where all the integer variables will stay. There are some variables where only float variable will stay. There are some area where only let's say double variables will stay. Okay, there are some area where only boolean variable will stay. There are some area where only character variables will stay. There are some variables where only byte variable will stay. Okay, and so on. So what we are doing, just writing like this int a equal to 25, what is this? We are storing this variable, or we are forcing this variable to store in the integer area. Suppose we are writing this float b equal to 2.5f. So what are we doing? By we are forcing this b variable to store in float area 2.5. Okay, so int, float, double, boolean, byte, these are all data types. What are the data types? These are the designated area in the memory. These are nothing but the designated areas in the memory. Okay, in the memory. So these are called, this int, float, double, these are called the primitive data types. Okay, primitive data types. So when I am writing this int a equal to 10, right, int a, right, I am not creating any object of integer class, I am not creating any object of float class, I am not creating any object of double class. I am just declaring using int, float, double, right, type of variable I am declaring. These are called primitive data type. Okay, primitive data type. So Java supports primitive data types parallelly with creating the objects. So as Java supports primitive data types, we can also write like this. Suppose integer is a class. Okay, integer integer I equal to new integer, and inside that braces I can put any value, let's say 10. Okay, this is possible, though this is deprecated as Java provides this primitive data type concepts. So these things are deprecated, but still this is possible. And this is not, integer is a class. Okay, integer is a class, data type is class, but int is a primitive data type of integer class. Okay, so as Java supports primitive data type, okay, primitive data types, Java is not fully object oriented programming language. Java is not fully object oriented programming language. This is an interview question. Why Java is not fully object oriented programming language? Because Java supports primitive data types like int, float, double, boolean, etc., etc. Okay, so we are declaring int a means we are trying to put the a value in the integer area of the memory. We are declaring b as float value. That means we are putting the b value in the float area of the memory. We are declaring the value c as double, variable c as double, means we are interested to put the c value, the value of c, in the double area in the memory space. See if it is clear or not. Okay, fine. So based on these data types, right, data types, we have couple of data types. See, this is just theory. First data type would be byte. Okay, based on its size, by the way. First data type will be byte. So the size of byte is 8 bits. Okay, and the range of byte is any number between 120 minus 128 to plus 127. Any number between minus 128 to plus 127 can be declared as byte. Okay, first thing. Second thing, short. Okay, shorts, the size of the short is 16 bits. Okay, you know, right, what is bits, by the way? What is bits? bits, bits. See, this is my microprocessor, right? Correct. This is my microprocessor. So there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, 2 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. All this number would be, I mean, this is called bit. Okay, bits. And this 8 bits consist, I mean, this 8 bits makes 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte. So that is why 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So any number between minus 128 to plus 127 would be inside byte. Short is 16 bits. Okay, the range of short is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. This is the number range of short. Okay, the higher is int. Okay, int's size is 32 bit. Okay, 32 bits. And the range is int's range is 2 to the power minus 2 to the power 31 to plus 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Okay, now next comes long. It is 64 bits. Okay, so the range is basically minus 2 to the power 63 to plus 2 to the power 63 minus 1. This is long variable. There is a double. So double is again 64 bits. Okay, and double is basically like float. Okay, I forgot float. So first thing is float, right? Float is a 32 bits. Okay, and double is 64 bits. Float consists of only 1.1 f. Okay, but double consists of 1.213, like more than one decimal will take as double. Only one decimal point will take as float. Okay, or we can declare as float. But in float you have to put the suffix f. Okay, and then character. You know characters, a, b, these are all characters. Okay, so character size of the character is 16 bits. Okay, 16 bits. So these are all theory, main theory. Now if you have noted it down, that will be beneficial, because I am going to discuss now the interchanging of data types. Okay, interchanging of data types. What are the, I mean, how we can change or how we can switch from one data type to another data type. Okay, so these are the data types we use normally in day-to-day life. Can you note it down? Just Yes, double is also 64. Long is huh, right. But the structure of long and double is different. Double always consists of with decimal point. Okay, it's just a big brother of float. Long is big brother of int. Sorry. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now we will see how to change the data types. I mean, suppose we have declared a value using byte or short, right? So how can I just change the type integer? See, there are two things. There are two things. One is implicit changing. Implicit changing means from lower data type to higher data type. Okay, and another thing is explicit changing. Okay, or explicit casting. Changing means casting. Okay, implicit casting, which is called widening. Suppose you want to change the data type from byte to integer. Okay, now this is called widening. In widening there is no data loss happening because we are going to a larger space. But suppose you are going from a larger space to your to a narrower space, right? Suppose you are converting some data types or some variables from let's say double to float. That would be a narrowing change, right? That is called narrowing or explicit casting. Narrowing casting or explicit casting. Actually, to convert a double number to a float number will have some data loss. Will have some data loss. Okay, so this data loss things are called narrowing casting or explicit casting. See, let me create one file, type casting dot java. This type casting is very important for interview, by the way. Okay, let me create one main method and let me create one variable with let's say byte. Okay, byte b equal to 10. Why 10? Because it's minus 128 to plus 127, any value can take byte. Now I want to convert it to integer variable. So what can I do? Simply integer a equal to b. See, there is no error. There is no error. This is called widening type casting. Widening type casting. Okay. Now next thing is narrowing type casting. Narrowing type casting. What is that? Suppose we have a long variable. Okay, long L equal to 1008 I mean whatever number, long L. Now if I want to convert it to integer or rather byte, okay, let's say byte byte any variable name, let's say d equal to L. Is it possible? No, because byte is shorter than, or it takes less memory than long variable, right? Because byte is 8 bit and L is 64 bits, long is 64 bits. So 64 bit, from we are moving from 64 bit to 8 bits. How can it be possible? Okay, it's not possible. Suppose you are moving from a 4 BHK bungalow to a 1 RK room with your whole family. Initially you will have some data loss, right? Weight loss and everything. So that's the same thing here. You are, that larger room, from larger room you are moving to a shorter room here. Now what is the way to convert to byte? Simply we have to put a casting here. That's it. In this way we can convert a larger data type to a shorter data type. This is called narrowing typecasting or explicit typecasting or explicit type casting. Okay, this is widening typecasting or implicit typecasting. See, is clear or not? Clear, right? Now next thing is constants. So variables are done. Now constants. Constants, like variables, can be changed in runtime. Constants cannot be changed in runtime. Constant means constant. Okay, just think about it. Constant. In life, in our life, something is constant. We cannot change those things, right? So in Java program also there are something constant. Okay, we cannot change those values, we cannot override those values. So those are called constants. Constants are declared. Constants are declared. Suppose this is right, declared with final keyword, final int age equal to, let's say, 30. Final int age equal to 30. Now you cannot change this value age 30. Let's say I want to change it somewhere. Okay, let's say public, I'm writing up a method, public void change age. Okay, and here in for the age I am assigning another value, let's say 40. Can't be changed. Why? Because see, the final field typecasting age cannot be assigned. The final field age cannot be assigned with some other value. If it is a normal variable, I'm deleting this final keyword for now, then see, I can change the value on runtime, or I can update the value. But whenever as soon as I am putting final keyword here, it would be a constant, and constants cannot be changed in the runtime or throughout the program. Okay, and one thing, just observe that the variable's name I have used all small letter, and but the this final keyword, right, the constants I am writing in the capital letter, because this is the convention of Java. Convention, standard. Okay, it's not mandatory, but if you want to write standard code, the constants should be all capital letter. The syllables are separated by underscore. Suppose this is my underscore age. Okay, my underscore age. So all capital, the syllables are separated by underscore. Okay. Now, in case of variable, suppose my age, int my age. See the difference between variable and constants. Constants are all capital, but variable is in camel casing. First, it will start with small letter, first syllable, then next syllable will start with capital letter followed by the small letters. This is camel casing. Okay, camel casing. Why camel casing? The camels or camel, how camel looks. Camel looks like this, right? The back of the camel looks like this, right? So starting with small letter, then syllable differentiated by capital letter, and again followed by small letters, and again if you have another syllable, it will be with capital letter. Okay, so this is called camel casing. Okay, but if you see the class name, class name is again, this class name is starting with capital letter, caps. Always class name will start with caps, capital letter, and followed by the small letters, and all the syllables are differentiated with same thing, means capital letter and then small letter. CSCS, this is the class. Okay, this is the class name convention or class name style. This is called the Pascal case, Pascal casing, and this is called camel casing, okay, this is called camel casing. All the methods and variable will be of camel casing. See the method, all the variables and the method would be the same thing with camel casing. Class would be Pascal casing, integer would be all capital, separated by the syllables are separated by underscore. Understood? Hmm. 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 Constants should be final. Constants, whenever we are declaring as final, then the variable moves to constant. I mean, their variable becomes constant. If it is not final, then it is not constant. Correct. Variable values is just a terminology. Variable values changes runtime. Constant value cannot be changed. What is constant? Constant is just final variable is called constant. Okay. Right. Variable and method name should be of camel casing. That understood, right? Okay. So all these things are called primitive data type. Whatever data types we talked about are called primitive data type. Okay. There are some non-primitive data type. Okay. Non-primitive data types means those are not primitive, means int, float, those things are not like that. Okay. Those are user defined data. Okay. User defined data, just like in this particular class, right? In this particular class, just a minute, let me comment it. Okay, suppose this class field dot tut. So here, see, in the public static void main, the first thing is boj. This is also an this is also a variable, right? But what is the type? It is a class type, right? It is a class type. So this is called non-primitive data types. This is also a variable, but it's of, what is the type of the variable? The type of the variable is this class name. This is called non-primitive. This type of variables are called non-primitive data types. So non-primitive data types, in Java, these non-primitive data types are actually the object variables. Okay, object variables. And it actually takes the type of a class, any class. Okay, one of the example of non-primitive data type is the object variable. Another thing is string. Okay, string. Non-primitive data types dot java. Okay, non-primitive data type dot java, and here it is main method. Now see, string name equal to suom, sorry, is t. See, this string always I mean, whatever we did so far, right, in the primitive data type, see, all the types are starting with small letters, right? int, double, doubl, d is capital, sorry, d is small. So but non-primitive data type starting with s. Okay, why? Because it is a type of class. Okay, string is a class. String is a data type as well as class. Okay, it's a non-primitive data type and as well as a class. Okay, so we are creating an object of name like this. Okay, object variable is name of string class. So this can be written like this also: string name 1 equal to new string, and we should give the like this. Okay, this is the declaration. This is also possible, this is also possible. There are two methods, two ways to declare string, but we always use this option. Okay, string name equal to so on. Okay, so string is, I mean, what is the difference? We'll discuss later. Okay, so anyway, this string is a class. The same way, suppose we want to like integer, right? Integer holds only one integer value. Suppose I want to declare a data type which can hold multiple integer values. Okay, that way array comes into picture. What is that? So this is how we can create an array. So int box means box brackets, then int array, give some name, okay, equal to, in these curly braces you can provide a number of numbers. This is a data structure. Arrays are called a data structure. Data structure means array is a data structure which can hold multiple datas of same type. It can hold only integer type variables or integer type values. It can't take any string type value. It can't take any character type value. Okay, character denotes in single quote, okay, like A, B, C, right, like that. Okay, so arrays can hold homogeneous data type in inside it, and multiple homogeneous data type. So this is also called non-primitive data type. So what are the non-primitive data types? We learned about string is one, second is array, third is any object variables. Any object variables. Clear? Object variable means this. Class variable, yeah. This is called object variable. Okay. Now, what? Okay, fine. We have declared these two types of, this is pending, right? We have declared the two types of strings, right? This is the first type declaration. This is the second type declaration. Okay, second type declaration. Now, what is the difference between these two? See, this is you are directly creating object, and this is you are creating a string literal. How what is that? So see, in the memory space, Java denotes or Java creates a space called string pool. Okay, string pool. Suppose this is my memory space, right? Here this area will be called string pool. Okay, string pool. Now this name Suvam, okay, when we are declaring the string like this name, okay, this will be stored in this string pool. Okay, string pool. And what about sorry, I am getting disturbance. Can you please go on mute? Yeah, thank you. So this will store in the string pool area. Okay, but here see, what we are creating. We are creating an object. So where this object will store, we discussed yesterday, it's heap portion of JVM, right? Heap portion of JVM memory, right? Now, what is the benefit of literal? I mean, this declaration with literal, string literal. Suppose we are declaring the same string with different variable, name2 equal to Suvam, same string but different variable. This will not create another variable, or this will not create anything new in the string pool. Okay, first Java will check, or the executor will check whether this particular value is present or not in the string pool. If it is present, suppose this is here, we have Suvam string. Okay, Suvam string inside the string pool. Now this is allocated to what? Name, right? Name equal to this. Now when we are creating this name to variable, this will be just assigned, I mean name 2 will be assigned with the same literal, because why so? Because this value and these values are same, these value and these values are same. But in case of string name or string suvom, if you are creating another value, string name 3 equal to new string same with same value suvom, then it will create another object in the heap. It will create another object in the heap. But in literal, it will not create another variable or another entry in the string pool. It will first check whether the variable or whether the value is already there or not. If it is already there, then it will be automatically assigned to the new variable name 2. But it is not the case in case of object creation. Okay, in object creation it will create a new object it will create a new object all along, all through. In the where all the objects are getting stored, it's in the heap memory. See if it is clear or not. It may come in the interview that what is the difference between string name suvom and what is the difference between these two types of declaring string. Clear, right? Okay, fine. Okay, we'll take the string properties. String has some properties. Okay, it's a special property. We have some special properties, special methods for string tomorrow. Okay, so it's all it's fine for today. That's all for today actually. Okay, I don't want to go beyond it, but please practice. Okay, please practice at least, go through the video at least once and practice the code. You see, right? Whenever I asked you to write the code, there are many mistakes. So that will be you can overcome only by practicing. Regularly you practice. Not lot of practice, just write once, that's it. You will understand everything. Just go through the video and write once. You'll understand. Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you for your time.